Hey there everybody, this is Kwahn and welcome to video 3, Making a Shotgun, for XCOM 2 modding. Before we begin, I have a few things to talk about that I've been lax in talking about previously. If in ModBuddy you go to Help XCOM 2 Modding Docs, or if you go to your Steam, Steam Apps Common XCOM 2 SDK documentation folder, you will see a quick start guide, which is essentially video 1, and content and tech, which will talk a lot about the internals of XCOM, how models are fed in, how environments are built, how maps are made, the debugging tools, gameplay user interface, how all of that's arranged. Very useful. My videos covered a lot of, for example, what's in the quick start guide, and plans to cover a lot of what's in the other stuff, but definitely worth a read. Second thing, people have asked me how I have this multiple windows available down the bottom. To do that, go to your XCOM 2 SDK folder, go to Binaries, Win32, ModBuddy, and inside here you will see this XCOM ModBuddy application. Go ahead and just drag that down to your toolbar if you're in Windows, or otherwise select the process separately, and that will allow you to open multiple instances of ModBuddy. So you can see that's how I have like the ExampleWeapon and the default mods open. And on that note, in general, I'm going to have the default mods off to the side so I can reference them, and the ExampleWeapon we'll look at today. So actually, let's begin by looking at the ExampleWeapon. The ExampleWeapon is available if you go to New Project ExampleWeapon. This is exactly what it's going to give you. So I'm not going to go into too much detail. I'll just go over the basics since it's essentially the same as the weapon we looked over previously. So class, mod example weapon, extends X2 item. Template classes that are created are searched for by the game when it starts. If you have anything that has a create templates class that uses basically this line, game's going to search for that, find it, put it in the game. So as long as you're creating templates the same way the game creates templates, the manager of templates will find it and be able to throw it in the game. So just make sure to do what they do, you'll be fine. Template creation functions form the bulk of a template class. This one builds our custom weapon. And you can see this has very similar stuff to the shotgun, only instead of shotgun it's a rifle, uses different images, all that good stuff. This changes the stats a bit. This actually pulls directly from the stats of the regular assault rifle, instead of using its own INI file. You can look over that, it's relatively simple. I'm going to go ahead and store that off to the side for now. What we're going to do this time is create a new project. We're going to do a default mod, and this default mod is going to be a double barrel shotgun. Double barrel shotgun. This shotgun will have 2 barrels. Stronger close up, weaker from afar, and better than a sword in untrained hands. Yeah. So this is the kind of shotgun I've decided to make today for you. Creating project, that's all well and good. Okay, excellent. It's created. We have our list of default files that we're going to immediately delete so we don't send it to people's computers. And we have our classes, our localization, our config files. I'm going to start by doing some administrative details. Excuse me, I had to adjust the microphone. Okay, I'm going to start by doing some administrative details. Let's look at game. You can see our DLC identifier and double barrel shotgun etc. Let's create a config file for our new shotgun. I'm going to call it I'm going to use the same naming method as the other INI files, which I highly recommend. XCOM double barrel shotgun .ini. Okay, XCOM double barrel shotgun .ini. Ooh, excellent. So now we need to create the class that we're actually going to have the code for the double barrel shotgun in. The default is called x2item underscore default weapon.uc. So we're going to call this x2item underscore double barrel shotgun.uc. Doesn't matter too much what you call it. I'm just doing this to have good naming conventions. So this is an Unreal script. And if you see my mouse going off to the left, that means I'm referencing most likely the default files, which I have right here. And I highly recommend doing that in general. Very useful stuff. So, x2item underscore double barrel shotgun.uc. This is a class, and I want to call the class double barrel shotgun.uc. It extends x2item in the same way that the default weapons extend it, and it uses a config file. And the config file is going to be double barrel shotgun. And the reason it's double barrel shotgun and not XCOM double barrel shotgun is because that's how the defaults do it. You can see the default does game data underscore weapon data when the config file is called XCOM game data underscore weapon data. So that's all well and good. Now, a weapon has several variables that it's going to pull from the config file. So var config weapon damage value double barrel underscore base damage. Yeah, let's have them all called double barrels. Let's see, what else do we need? We need var config double barrel aim. Var config double barrel underscore crit chance. Var config. This is taking too long. Let me show you a little shortcut. So I'm going to copy over the assault rifle magnetic. I'm going to go ahead and Control-Shift-F, replace in files. And I'm going to replace assault rifle magnetic with double barrel. And look, an entire solution? Sure, that's fine. Yep. Replace everything. And look, we just replaced all that. Oh, I was forgetting to put int. Whoops. Let's make sure we have our int. Okay, excellent. So now we have a good base of config numbers. We are, however, missing one thing, and that is the range table, which says how much aim bonus you get at various distances. So range modifier table. That's going to be an array of integers, and we'll call it double barrel range. Excellent. So this should pull these variables from this config file located here. However, we need to tell the config file what project and class we're feeding stuff into. You may have seen things like thing.thing in brackets in various INI files. In fact, let me pull open an INI file just to show you that. So config, let's look at the weapon data. Yeah, so up here we see XCOM game.x2item underscore default weapons. The first thing is the package name. The second thing is the class that it's feeding this data to. So our package name is not going to be XCOM game. Our package name is going to be whatever is in this DLC identifier, which in this case is double barrel shotgun. So we're going to have double barrel shotgun dot. And the second part is going to be the class name that we're feeding this particular chunk of data to. So double barrel shotgun dot x2item underscore double barrel shotgun. And this makes sure that this class knows to pull from this file, and this file knows to feed to this class. If you forget either of these, the most common thing you'll have happen is your weapon will have no ammo, not be able to be reloaded, and if you somehow hard-code the clip size, then it's not going to do any damage, and it's not going to have any aim modifier. It's going to be ridiculous and dumb. So be very careful to include these things. Now, what variables were we including? All sorts of stuff. So range, weapon damage value, all sorts of stuff. Let's go ahead and just place all of this stuff with not this stuff. And the reason I'm doing a lot of copying and pasting is to make absolutely sure I don't make typos, because I make tons of tiny little stupid dumb errors. And maybe you're better than me and don't make those tiny stupid dumb errors, but I am not a smart person. So we have all these things. This file doesn't use colons except as comments, so we're going to get rid of all the colons. And make sure to use package name dot class name with your package. Now, double barrel dot base damage. This is going to be of the type weapon damage base. Let's actually find the shotgun one and just pull that directly. Okay, equals, and I missed a parentheses there. And we're actually not going to modify this right now. We can mess with it later once we know we've got it working. Now the range table, we're going to go ahead and scroll all the way down. And I guess we'll start with the short conventional range. And we'll replace short conventional with double barrel. And we will look in, what is this file? XCOM DoubleBarrelShotgun.ini. That way we only replace in this file instead of the entire solution like I did before. So, find? Very strange. Why were you not found? Short, maybe I mistyped it. Let me copy paste. No? Okay. What if I just say current window? No, doesn't like that. All open documents. Entire solution. Fuck it. We'll just do entire solution. Doesn't matter too much. Because I know I don't have any other instances. And I can scroll down here to make sure I didn't replace it anywhere else. Matching files 1. File is this, so I know I didn't mess it up. Cool, so we have the range table. That we'll just go ahead and throw it on here. Get rid of this reference. Now, aim and stuff. Let's type, like, whatever's here. So, shotgun. Conventional aim is 0. Crit chance is 10. Actually, I have an idea for some of these. So, aim, I'm going to leave a 0. Crit chance, I'm going to raise to 30. Clip size, I'm going to drop to 2, because it's double barrel shotgun. Sound range is going to be 35. It's normally 30. I'm going to increase it a bit. Environment damage, I'm going to say 20. Raise it a bit. Supplies, doesn't matter. I'm going to make it 10. Doesn't matter because we're not going to be using it. Eye points is the cost in multiplayer to equip your soldier with this item. And we're just going to say 0 because it doesn't matter at all. No plans to use it in multiplayer. Although that would be hilarious. 1 second. Had a frog in my throat. It was riveting. Okay. So this has set up our INI file values. Granted, with mostly default shotgun values. But these are defined now. And since these are defined here, they will be defined in our class. Cool. Now we're going to static function array x2 data template create templates. And this is a function that will have a local array x2 data template my weapon, and my weapon, actually I'll say my weapons because this is an array of weapons, so it could have multiples. In this case it'll just have one, but add item create template double barrel shotgun, and we add the parentheses since it's a function that's being called. We end those parentheses to finish ending the add item function. Add item is a function. And then colon. Every line ends with a colon. Except for function declarations. And various other ones that aren't too important. So we've defined our my weapons. We've added a thing to it. And now we go ahead and return my weapons. and that creates the create templates function. Now we have to actually function x2 data. Is it data template or weapon template? Let me check real quick. It is data template. Create template underscore double barrel shotgun and this is going to have a local x2 weapon template. It's preferable to always call it just template for standardization. If you're stealing code from the base game or other people's mods, it'll generally be called template. Just makes your life easier. And we're going to create x2 template class x2 weapon template double barrel shotgun. We'll just call it double barrel for now. Okay, so this actually creates the template for the double barrel shotgun, and it gives it the identifier double barrel. This identifier is important later, but we'll find that out later. And this function is going to ultimately return template. And so that return function will hand it to this add item function, which will hand it to here. And this return function, returning the my weapons array, will hand it to the template manager for putting in the game. So that's the chain of how that works. Now, this weapon is just a default weapon with no assets, no hope, no abilities. It's useless. But I'm going to take this time to build solution and just to see if I've messed anything up. And while we build solution, I'll go ahead and look at the default a little bit. I'm just scrolling on the left side, looking at the shotgun. Ooh, 3 errors. I am terrible at coding. Script versus class mismatch. Interesting. Class name, double barrel shotgun, doesn't match name of source file. Oh, that's because I put the UC there. You don't put the UC there. Do not put the UC there. That was a stupid mistake. But stupid mistakes like that, just tiny things, will happen all the time and they'll ruin everything forever. So you have to be careful and meticulous whenever programming. Let's go ahead and rebuild. See if that is resolved. 1 error. Missing left curly bracket in function. Line 26. By the way, if you double click it, it's going to open a copy of the file. And if you edit this copy of the file, it won't go into the build. So if you double click it to see what line you're on, and in this case we're on this line, you'll want to close or remove that. Go back to here, and then see line 26 and find it manually. So line 26. I seem to have accidentally put a double parentheses here, and that's why that error is appearing. If it's saying that brackets are missing or anything and you see the brackets there, it's usually just a simple syntax error typo. And that happens. And that's why I'm debugging now, so that it's easy for me to find these silly little things to start with. See? Build succeeded. Now we know everything here, at least, is syntactically correct. And you want to frequently check your code, just to make sure that things are working. Okay. So all of this stuff appears to be written correctly. The INI file didn't throw any errors. The class file didn't throw any errors. Everything's looking good so far. Let's copy paste some shit. So I'm going to go ahead and take the default file I have hiding over here. I'm going to start just pasting stuff from it into here since we're not doing too much fancy right now. So weapon panel image is just going to be the shotgun. It's a weapon, it's a shotgun, it's a conventional weapon. This is going to use the shotgun base image, the conventional weapon equip sound. It's going to be a tier 0 weapon. Just really basic stuff. So now I'm going to be copying lines one by one because I have a problem with how it's arranged in the default mod, and I like to make sure that it's arranged in the same way it's arranged up here. So we have template.base damage, which is going to be, instead of shotgun, it's going to be double barrel, but we'll replace all that later. So we have our base damage, we have our range. Go ahead. We have our aim. Aim, crit chance, clip size, sound range, environmental damage. Now, so this is all shotgun underscore conventional. So with double barrel. And short conventional, I'm going to manually replace with double barrel. Double barrel, that's a typo. Barrel, yeah, so this all should be the same as this all. And it looks pretty samey, so. And now I'm actually going to show you how to add your own config line. And it's very simple. So normally you have template.num upgrade slots equals 1. And I'm actually going to instead do a default dot double barrel underscore I upgrade slots. So if I want to have the INI file effect that there, I need to have it pull up here. And if I want to have it pull up here, I need to go into the INI file and have it defined there. There you go. You added your own INI file line. Very simple. Cool. Now, for some very important parts. Template.inventory slot equals env slot underscore primary weapon. And I could have just copy pasted it, but I like typing it out to explain that it tells the game that it's a primary weapon. And I'm going to go ahead and copy and paste some abilities over that are very standard. And I'm going to add one ability that's not standard. So you have your standard shot, your Overwatch shot, reload, and hot load ammo, which is used in the beginning of the mission to initially fill your weapon, and whenever you try to, say, do a rapid fire shot with only one ammo, it'll hot load your weapon. Speaking of which, let's go ahead and add rapid fire to this template.abilities.add item rapid fire. Yeah. And that'll probably work. The naming of these are relatively conventional, and if you just go ahead and pull this, search for it in the defaults, and make sure that's actually the name of the skill. Yeah, static function x2 ability template rapid fire. So that'll probably work. I don't know for sure because I haven't added it before, but we're gonna just say that I might actually know a thing. Okay, so we've added those abilities. Now we're going to shamelessly take all of the base model information. So the shotgun, CV, pawn location, all of the attachment model information, stuff like that. Next, we'll have a template.iPhysics impulse. The base shotgun uses 5. We're going to up it to 25. See if that does anything fun. Template.f knockback damage amount. Yeah, whatever, I can't type. I'll just go ahead and paste those in since I don't feel like typing. And that uses 10 normally. We'll up it to 50. So 5 times stronger. 80, yeah. Template.upgrade item. We're not going to have a template.upgrade item because I'm not making the magnetic or beam version of this. This is just going to be a conventional weapon. When I decide to make the beam and magnetic version, I can just copy paste this whole working thing and then I'll have duplicate weapons, and I can just edit it accordingly. So template.starting item equals true, template.canBeBuilt equals false. Template damage type template name equals projectile underscore conventional, which is a bit weird. I don't know why I'm putting that there. Which is a bit weird because it's defined in the weapon damage base, but I guess it's just a check or something, or it's redundantly defined. Which happens, that's okay. So at this time, we've included everything to make this shotgun basically a shotgun. I'm going to go ahead and build and sort out the numerous errors I'm sure are here. And while that builds, I'm going to talk a bit about why this won't have a name in the game. And to explain that, wow, it built first try. God, that's amazing. I'm going to have to explain the localization file. So let's get into the localization file somewhat. The localization file contains almost 2 megabytes of just pure text. If it's shown to the player, it's probably in the UI files. So when you lose a mission, it shows you some stuff. When you load the game, it says certain things. When you do things, it's quick load, quick key bindings are shown things. Credits are shown, enlisted. What I'm actually going to look for is the weapon definitions. Let's see. Weapons. Blade storm, skills, battle scanners, enemy weapons, hack rewards. Can't find it. So I'm going to search for X2 weapon template. Doesn't seem to be above me. Seems to be below me. Okay, so here's a bunch of the weapons. So assault rifle, mag, XCOM turret weapons, RU weapons. Like, these are all XCOM weapon templates. Grenade launcher, here we go. Here's the shotguns. So you can see here, shotgun underscore CV X2 weapon template. So, remember how in the INI file we had our package name and then our class name? For localization files, it works slightly differently. You're going to have your template identifier name and the template type that it is. So the normal shotgun is called shotgun CV. You can actually see that here. Create X2 template shotgun CV. That's its identifier, and it's of the type X2 weapon template. So for our shotgun, go ahead and just copy this real quick. Go ahead and go over to our double barrel shotgun. Instead of shotgun CV, it's going to be whatever we put here, which is double barrel. Oops, killed a bracket. If I say parentheses instead of bracket, it's bracket, you know what I mean. X2 weapon template, which I don't know why I deleted and rewrote that. Yeah, double barrel dot X2 weapon template. No dot. It doesn't use a dot. Localization does not use a dot. The INI file uses a dot, localization does not. So now we're going to go ahead and put in a bunch of nonsense. The double barrel shotgun, we're going to call it double barrel shotgun. Double barrel shotgun. And it's duplicating our quotation marks for some reason. So, brief summary. This powerful close-range shotgun hits hard, but is useless from any real range. Tactical text. I'm just gonna go ahead and kill everything here. Actually, I'm just gonna fill in the bullets and ignore the stupid text I put there. I did my own text conversion like the A Lameo mod, and I never bothered to restore the default, so it's just gonna have random stupid shit. And that's okay. So tactical text. We have the bullet is going to say, this shotgun only works up close and against flanked enemies. Much less useful against enemies in cover. Ah, damn. Redo. If you accidentally undo something, you can just click undo or control Z, or you can click redo and control Y. I forgot what the hotkey was, so I clicked it manually. So this shotgun is super. Yay. Only rapid fire, not. You can only rapid fire. Be ready to reload often. That's not true yet, but we'll make it true again eventually. So I'm going to call this Super Shotgun. Excellent. So this should provide the text in-game to display to the player. We'll see if that's true once we build. And then we'll debug. So, build succeeded. Let's debug. I'm just going to hit F5. So the script's going to compile. We're going to see what it looks like in-game, how it acts, what it does. I haven't changed any of the behavior really, except for the clip size, but if the clip size has changed, then we will know that it's working correctly. So here we get a list of the mods. Double barrel shotgun. You're going to select that. Try when testing a mod to test only your mod. Unless you're using something like the perfect information mod, which is awesome by the way. But test just your mod. I need to install perfect information. Seems like a good idea. Okay, while that's loading, I'm going to mess with this a bit. Sound range is good. Upgrade slots is fine. I'm going to give this a real big bonus close up. Make the bonus fade slowly. Get this while it's loading. Go ahead and just work on this range table a bit. 0, -20. Oh, I really went. Okay, I'm going to select tactical since we're testing a weapon. I'm going to go ahead and choose my squad so I can give them my new weapon. So I have a ranger. They're using shell guns by default. I'm going to select my double barrel shotgun. Make sure they're a ranger, by the way. If they're a rookie, they can't select the shotgun because rookies can't use shotguns. They can just use assault rifles. That's stupid. I'm going to go ahead and give several people the double barrel shotgun of various types just to make sure. This is going to be a ranger. Use power sword. No, pointy sword. Double barrel shotgun. Okay, everyone has a double barrel shotgun. I'm going to go ahead and save and exit this squad. I'm going to go ahead and choose map data. And I'm just going to choose random. So, plot test. Yeah, test plot is fine. Use list choice, doesn't matter. None of the settings really matters. Difficulty, doesn't matter. And the reason I'm doing a test plot is because it's a tiny square and it'll build quickly, so I can get in there quickly. You don't want to build a full mission in order to test your weapon. It takes goddamn ever. Yeah, I have my double barrel shotgun. And it looks like it's working. Unfortunately, I have no enemy. That's pickle. I can't actually shoot anything with it, but you can see that it's using a clip size of 2 instead of clip size of 4, and it looks like we have double tap added for free. So yeah, does everyone have it? Yep, it's pretty cool. Regular shotgun does not have it, or shotgun. Cool. So I'm actually going to go back to the main menu and quickly load up a real quotation marks mission because the test mission didn't have any aliens. Actually, can I add aliens here? Force level, mission type. Yeah, it looks like I can't really do that. So I'm gonna go ahead and just pick like I like the train missions. So I'm gonna do a retail train. Okay, and I'll generate that. And while that's generating, I'll keep working on the table. So negative 60, negative 80, negative 100, 100, negative 100, 100, 100, 100. Yeah, this thing is useless at a range. Like, actually completely useless. And if you're squad sighting with this, you just making a horrible mistake. Don't do that. Now, this is taking like 30 seconds to build. I don't know if my computer's just slow or what. Let's give him more damage. So damage 6, spread, slightly bigger spread, crit. Let's give it bonus crit damage. Actually, here's what we could do. I'm gonna give it a high crit damage, very, very low base damage, and it's low spread. I'm gonna give it a higher crit chance, so that when you're flanking enemies and you crit them, it'll do a huge amount of damage, but if you don't crit them because they're behind cover or something, it'll do low damage. All of this is generally a placeholder, so it doesn't matter too much. But I'm going to go ahead and X2, allow, select all. Allow, select all. 1. And that should allow me to select every unit. Yep, I can select the enemies. So that's pretty cool. Very useful for testing. Let me go ahead and run everyone forward indiscriminately.
Affirmative.
Let me actually go ahead and make sure that the sound is not too ridiculously loud. Oh, there's enemies over there. Yep. Sound go down.
Now includes human DNA.
Human DNA. Black science, man. No, Tigan's awesome. And he is not Neil deGrasse Tyson, sadly. If the frame rate's low, that's because I'm using a shitty graphics card and recording a game that I can barely run anyway at the best of times. So I apologize in advance for that. El Meo. Oh wait, yeah, I control their turn. So I'm gonna just have them very slowly scoot up. Do. Oh. Oh no, they've spotted us. Yeah, freak out.
These guys make up the bulk of the Advent forces we've dealt with.
Did not tell you to move there.
Well equipped, but their obedience makes them predictable.
Okay, so let's test this. Yep, our damage looks to be good.
Good copy. Moving on target.
Go ahead and run up. So I'm actually not going to kill him right here. I'm going to save my game. Close the game. Because I want to see if the changes I just made will do anything. So I'm gonna save my changes, rebuild the solution. I need like waiting music or something, or to actually edit these videos. I'm sorry, I just sort of like record these and throw them out there. No regard to quality or sanity or usefulness or anything. If you have a favorite video editing software, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe. No. Go ahead and just tell me what I should use, because I should do that. It seems like a good idea. Okay, so this is loading up. I really hope that it's not like obnoxiously loud and you can't hear me, because I'm probably like 25 minutes into this video and I'm not re-recording this shit because I don't care enough. I selected tactical. I should not have done that. Actually, load game. Yeah. I'm gonna load the game that we were running last time, and if this works how I expect it to, which it might not, and if it doesn't, that's okay. But if this works how I expect it to, then it should pull the new values I put in the INI file. whenever it decides to load. You can do it, XCOM. While it's doing that, I can just check over things. So, unloaded save game, install new campaign. What I can do is unloaded save game, give the player the weapon, and install new campaign. You don't need to do anything. Red screen error. Okay. Excellent. So, let's look at the guy right next to the enemy. 100% chance to hit. Good. Damage 3 to 5. Crit chance 40%. Crit chance is high for somebody in cover. We'll have to figure out a different way of blasting enemies in cover.
Location confirmed.
How's your aim bonus way out here? 23%. Oh, you're using an actual shotgun. Oh, I don't care about you. 25%, 15%. Let's have this guy run away.
Good copy.
See how the weapon works from a distance. So if you're like this far away, 5%, 0%, yeah, pretty useless from a range. If you're right here, how's the weapon? I'm gonna fire just a single barrel. Obviously it only has one barrel, but...
My ammo's running low.
Okay, well, I'm gonna skip that turn.
They're moving around the side.
Oh yeah, be sure whenever you start a mission backup to set up any settings that you didn't have before, because it will reset back to normal, reasonable settings instead of allowing you to control everyone. And I'll get more into proper debugging later. This is just an example to show how the weapon's working in-game. So, let's see how this guy does, rapid firing. Yeah, crit chance 90%. This is stupidly overpowered for this time in the game. Wow. Didn't even crit. 90% chance. Do you see what I have to deal with? You see what I freaking have to deal with? This is why I don't play XCOM anymore. And just mod it. Anyway, let's go ahead and see if this gets a crit. Shotgun seems to have launched it back a bit further.
Enemy down.
I didn't see the damage, but I'm going to assume that it was a lot. Also, lucky loot. Duh. Well, the point is, my changes have definitely affected the shotgun. So I'm going to go ahead and close that and call it a success. XCOM double barrel shotgun is a go. I'm not going to publish this, that's stupid. Next time, I'm going to add abilities to this. And in order to add abilities that I want to add, I'm going to have to create new abilities. I will see you guys then.